Bear in mind that Ted Cruz is right up there with Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal and Tom Cotton in being among the most radically pro-war members of the United States Congress. But watch this.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah.
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay,
it's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one
who don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military... Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
Israel. High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Absolutely dynamite decimation of Ted Cruz.
And this shows you what Ted Cruz really is. It's just a hollow shell for AIPAC. Right. His top advisor on this issue, I'm not sure if he's still in his office, but for years and years, I think he still is named Omri Seren. And this just came to me. And he's an Israeli. He is an Israeli who is in the United States to burrow within the national security architecture and lead figures like Ted Cruz to use the U.S. military, its assets, and our blood and treasure as Americans on behalf of this tiny little foreign apartheid state. And Omri Seren's wife, Merav, was actually inserted into the Trump administration without anyone knowing by Mike Waltz. And she was finally drummed out about 3 weeks ago. So that's who Ted Cruz is really answering to. It's why we call him Tel Aviv Ted. And Tucker exposed him because he doesn't understand anything about Iranian society, or that it's not going to be a cakewalk, as we were told in advance of the Iraq war, to enact regime change in Iran. Iran does have a clerical leadership, but Ayatollah Khamenei is very, very popular, including with people with grievances with the government. And below him are institutions in which people actually believe in, that are functioning, which people will defend, as we saw when Israel launched a terrorist airstrike on IRIB, which is Iran's version of VOA or PBS or NPR. It's its national broadcasting facility. I actually participated in a public conference in that building, in that very complex, just a few weeks ago. And the building was bombed. The media broadcasters knew it was going to be bombed. They stayed on air. And during the bombing, they stayed in the building while it was burning, and they continued to stay on air to demonstrate their belief, their support for just the Islamic Republic generally as an independent country. And so that's going to be a huge problem. Ted Cruz doesn't understand that, but he doesn't even know the population. The population of Tehran itself is significantly larger than Israel's. This is a regional powerhouse, and Ted Cruz thinks it's just another tin pot dictatorship, or that when the dictator leaves, as in Syria, that the whole thing's going to collapse. So that's why that's significant.
Watch